Hi guys, welcome to Keep Evolving episode 7. And today on set I'm joined by Wendy Akinyi, Jackie Wegoki, and Wangeshi Washira. And I am Benjamin Geshohi. Today I am your host. First time, So the goofs and the whatevers, don't worry. And I want to thank you for continually being our support, for watching every episode, for your feedback. We really appreciate you for all that you do. We are better because you have been watching us. So today is about passion and how to discover your passion and make your passion a real passion. And so to start us off, I will ask Jackie to just take us through what is passion, Jackie.
Thank you, Benjamin. Passion, when I think about passion, I think about something that I love doing and I enjoy, and it keeps refueling me as I do it. And possibly to understand it better, let's do it practically and see how this goes.
Yes, please.
Through the passion chart. Mm-hmm. And we hope that by the end of today that each of us in the family will be able to develop our own passion chart as individuals and as families. I want to appreciate the work of CDI Africa because what we are doing is an adaptation from their work. So let's get going. So we have the first column here. As you can see, it talks about the things that I like or love doing and I do them well. So let's think about what are those things that you like doing and you do well. For example, if I think about Joanne, what do you like doing and you do well?
I'd say singing.
Singing. Okay. Benjamin?
I love serving people.
Serving people?
Yes.
And Wendy?
For me, it would be
cooking. Okay. And possibly for me, I would say I love listening to children. I just have them speak and hear what they have to say, having conversations with children. So these are the things that you find you love and you do so well. And when you're thinking about the passion chart, we call this the Thrive Zone because naturally you'll find you tend to go to do these things. You want to do it often and it keeps refueling you. So this is one area that helps to refuel your passion bucket. Yeah. So we would call this the Thrive Zone. And it is said that if you are doing, like maybe your career is on things that you really love doing and you do them well, you can really talk about having something that fulfills or a fulfilled job or career. Yeah. So let's look at the second quadrant. And this is something that you love doing, but you don't do well. So when I look at somebody who is doing this, it's like I admire. I wish I could be able to do it, but I'm not as good. So I'm not as skilled, but it's something I would love to know given a choice. So maybe you can give me examples of that. Wendy?
For me, playing instruments.
Playing music instruments. So play instruments. Benjamin?
I would say singing.
Singing, yeah?
Yes.
So when you look at people who are singing, you're like,
yes.
Oh, I wish I could take it to the next level.
Being on cue, finding that note, hitting that high, all that technicality about singing. I really admire people who do that well.
Nice. And Joanne?
Mine would be dancing.
Dancing?
Yeah.
Okay. That is Joanne. For me, I think I would say swimming.
Wow.
This is something I admire. And I have tried. But yet, I'm yet to get there. Wow. So when we look at these are things that I love, but I don't do as well. And because I love them, it means I still have an opportunity. What I need to do is to ask myself, how can I start at least learning because I enjoy them, yeah? So this zone is called the wish zone or the personal development zone. Because all we are saying is that you need to, if you develop yourself here, you could actually find some of the things here have moved to the Thrive Zone. So this is a good place to be when you think about your life. For example, when you're thinking about what you do in your day-to-day lives and you find that there's a lot that is here, then you're quite good, yeah? Exactly. Then we come here. There are things you do well, but you don't like doing. But you do well. So people even come and tell you sometimes, you do this so well. And even you know you do well. But given a chance, you would not do it. Yeah. I mean, it's just that I have to do it. Yeah. Do we have such things?
Yeah. Yes.
Like for you, Benjamin, what would that be?
Household chores, especially dishes.
House chores, eh?
Yes, especially dishes. I am okay with other things.
It even has that dishes.
Yes, dishes.
Okay. And for...
Same thing.
Yeah. When did you have something like that?
I joined him there. Mine would be specifically ironing.
Oh, specifically iodine, eh? Good. So this is an area where you look at yourself and see that I don't love doing it, but I'm still skilled.
Yeah.
And it happens even in our offices. I was thinking in terms of even the way people like take minutes. If you belong to that club where you do well, you take minutes, but given a chance,
Yes.
I would rather.
Yeah.
So you find when you're doing this, it's sort of boring, and we say this is a boring zone.
All right.
Okay? Then here comes now the other bit that's a little bit challenging. You don't love or you don't like doing, and you don't do well, but it is a must do.
Wow.
Wendy.
Mine would be the issue of following politics. Being a current affair.
Okay, so for Wendy, she talks about politics. That for sure, I don't do well, I don't love, but sometimes you just have to keep yourself current affairs. I mean, even when you go for interviews, these are things you're expected to know some of those. Eh?
Yeah.
Joanne, would there be something like this?
I struggle with and probably don't like anything to do with managing finances. Budgeting.
So let's put budgeting. Yet it's important to do it. Yeah. So what happens in that zone, you find that sometimes it can become frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah? So this is called the frustration zone. For the sake of understanding ourselves in this passion chart.
Yeah.
So you find that in this zone, you don't do well, you don't like doing, and yet it's a must do.
Yeah.
And I found it very interesting when we are doing this with children who are in school, and some of them how they would put Kiswahili, social studies in this quadrant, some maths, high schoolers, some would put chemistry here. So this tells us that this chart, you can use it to really analyze your life in many aspects of your life. Yeah. So what happens when you look at this is you find if you're operating in your day-to-day on this side of this quadrant or this column, then you're quite fulfilled and you're really fueling your passion bucket. But if most of the things you're doing in a day fall on this side, where it's boring and frustration, then your work, your day-to-day life appears a little bit dull. And today we want to say that how can we move what is on this side, manage what is on this side, not really move, such that we are still fueling our passion bucket, despite the fact that we have quite a number of things on this side. And when you think about the young professionals who are working, one of the things we can tell them is like, look at your job description. Where do the roles fall? Do they fall more on this side and on this side? Because if many are on this side, then it tells you I'll be saying my job is very unfulfilling. But we have to find ways of really bringing the balance. So we are saying, friends, please discover what your passion is, because you need to keep refueling the passion bucket.
Thank you very much, Jackie. That is very well done. I think we take a minute and just take that all in. Yeah. It's online. You can pause and then just look at it. So now, as we move on, I'm just thinking this is very well tabulated. So how do I know what I love to do? How do I discover my passion? Maybe Wendy, you can just go through just a little of how do I discover my passion?
So passion discovery, she has described passion as something you love doing and it refuels you. Another thing that could really give you a good pointer that this is your passion, it's something that you do, it refuels you, but you will hardly ever focus on the monetary value that it pays back to you. You mostly focus on the satisfaction it gives to you. So that would be one way to discover something that is a passion.
All right. Yeah. Something that just you like doing. It gives you value for you.
Exactly.
I love that. So then how do we move on from I have discovered I love cooking or I love singing? How do I move it now on to say that now I am nurturing this passion? Wangeshi, maybe you can just go through that for a bit.
One of the things that you have to do is you have to be intentional about learning whatever it is, especially those that fall in the lower section, the one that you like but you don't do well, so practice, intentionality, learning, and thank God for all the platforms that we have right now. We have YouTube, we have all these things that you can check and just, learn the things that are there. So one of the ways is definitely by practice and intentionality in whatever it is. Yeah.
I love that word right there, intentionality, because I don't think anything happens without us being intentional, wanting to dig in. You may want to be a cook, but as long as you're seated in the sitting room, enjoying the sweet aroma from the kitchen, you ain't going to be a cook. So it's about the intentionality, driving yourself to do whatever it is that is your passion.
Maybe
yes, Jackie.
And Benjamin, I think the whole aspect of discovering passion also comes with the issue of observation.
All right.
Sometimes you may take time to observe what is this thing that you keep wanting to do. And parents can also check on that even on their children.
All right.
So you find like they wake up and they want to do a certain stuff. Like what Wendy was just sharing, how the mother was saying that she started cooking when she was as young as 6 years.
Wow.
She would prepare a few things here and there. And so as you keep observing, you might find there's something peculiar. As in every day she wants to play some football, she wants to do some cooking. So that could be one way also of discovering passion.
I am also hearing intentionality in observing. You know, like as we observe the people around us in the home setup, in the office setup, to say that I want to know what their passion is, and you just be observant and notice sometimes, because I think some people don't know what their passion is. So they might be living and they're being forced to do something they don't really like while they thrive in a certain place. Wonderful. I think I like the conversation so far. And just before we go in for a break, Jackie, you've hinted on this. So I want to start with you. Balance. Now I have discovered my passion. I have worked on it, but I need a balance because this is life. It may be singing, but I am not exactly in the singing profession. Like that is not what brings my bread home. How do I create a balance? And if you could start us off, and then we can have a little discussion about balance in life, about our passions.
Okay, let me taking back to the chart that we have. For example, let's talk about the boring zone. That this and the frustration, where these are must-dos sometimes. And sometimes, like, frustration maybe some people may decide not to do. But let's say these are must-dos, like for a child in school or household chores, we have to help each other. One of the things you can do is, if I'm doing household chores and I love singing, then try to incorporate singing as I do these chores. That's one way of bringing that harmony. If I love cooking, if I don't like budgeting, for example, and I need to be able to balance. One of the things to do is ask somebody to help you. And that's why you find even in the house, sometimes we have a helper who comes to assist us in some of the things that we are not able to do, and you find they're able to do them better. You can find in an office that a CEO has a PA who helps to blend, to complement, So if I'm not too great in managing finances, how about getting somebody who is great at it? So I would just need to know the basics, but somebody else who is more familiar with it, who enjoys it more, then can come in and help to assist in that role.
Wow. Identifying someone who can help you along, or doing it as you do your real passion. I like the way you say, if it is household chores, sing as you do. So I'll be singing as I do dishes. And right there, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with more about passion. Welcome back, and thank you for keeping watching. Before the break, we were talking about balancing on our passions. And Wangeshi, I want to put you in the deep end and just ask you, how much more can we do this balance? Or what other ways can we use in balancing this passion and life?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, unfortunately, there are things that we may not exactly enjoy, but we have to work with them. We have to work around them. So, as she talked about singing as you wash the dishes, you can somehow make some of these things more interesting. For example, budgeting. So, one of the things that I have taken up as I do budgeting, something that I don't exactly get excited about, is I have a book where I will write. And so as I write, I don't know how I can explain that. You can have a beautiful book that is, if you love colors, you can have colors in there, and just make it creative. Let it not be something boring that just has figures and figures. You can put different color in the figures and make it look like it's something fun, even if it's not something fun. You can always get something to do. Buy a planner that is exciting, because somehow it will actually make you more excited about planning.
Wow.
Get a notebook that has probably your photo on it, or photos of things that you actually enjoy. So as you flip the pages to budget, it's actually more exciting, as opposed to just buying a squared book out there and trying
or using Excel.
Or using,
so guys who love Excel, you can move away if it's not very exciting. So
you can always find a way that if you like creativity and color and all those things, integrate them into this avenue and find out how you can add some color into whatever is a bit boring for you.
I'm also hearing that do couple this column with that column, somehow.
Yes.
And Wendy, I have a question for you. Now we've talked about coupling just to balance. Is there a way this column can be moved to that column? Like can we get to a place where now some of the things that I actually do not enjoy doing, maybe I don't like, or I don't even do well, can move to a place where now I am okay with them, I do them well, or I actually really enjoy them. Is there something we can do?
I believe there's something we can do. I love the point where Jackie said you can get somebody to help you.
Right.
And sometimes when you check your attitude, sorry to say, you will find that when this person is helping you, you can begin to develop interest in this thing. For maybe if I get somebody to help me with politics, maybe I get a political scientist who gives it to me in the professional way, in a dimension I've never looked at it before.
Yes.
And I start going like, oh, I can actually really follow this thing.
All right.
And it will tend to move from that quadrant to this quadrant down here. And the more I advance it, it moves to my thrive zone. It could get to a point where I am also a political advisor.
Wow.
So for me, I would say, really check your attitude.
Attitude.
And willingness to learn.
So let me talk about the guys who have chemistry and mathematics and Kiswahili down here. Guys, attitude. She said attitude. That's a humongous word to use. And I think it's a humongous word, but it's a good word because attitude actually just puts us in the right mindset.
Yeah.
So maybe you actually do not do well. Maybe you just do not have the right mindset. So maybe your attitude has been failing you at it. There we go. And Jackie, anything to add on this wonderful conversation?
I'd like to say that, and if it gets to the end where you feel for sure that frustration zone is not working, because you can find I have the right attitude, I have done whatever it takes, and I believe I have. Sometimes it's very important to find someone to speak to so that you still remain hopeful.
Wow.
And what am I thinking about? I'm thinking of school subjects.
Yes.
For example, when a child comes and says, Kiswahili, I'm not doing so great, and this child has put so much effort. It would be so lovely if this child still has somebody to encourage them.
Yes.
And the same thing for us as adults. You're in an office and you're struggling with a specific role in your job description and you really don't do it well. Then the option would be have someone to keep encouraging you even as you continue, working towards to see what will happen.
Yes.
And when you find for sure it can't work entirely, then maybe it's a time to change. Maybe it's a time to call yourself and say, this job or this assignment is not for me.
Yes.
I need to find something that is more fulfilling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally ni kujiita kamkutano.
Yes.
And you critically analyze this quadrant for you and where it is working and not working. Moving us forward in this conversation, what is the one thing that hinders us from just developing our passion?
I'd say one of the things that really is a big deal is fear. Like fear is like number one, and then the rest just come trickling down. And when I'm talking about fear, I'm thinking of, for example, you love cooking, and you enjoy, like it just flows naturally, but people would have this idea where they're like, okay, I'd love to pursue this, probably have my own space, a restaurant or something, or go the catering direction, whatever direction you want to take. But this is not what is going to, this doesn't look like something that will bring food to my table. So you have not even tried it out, but you are already thinking, this will not. And this especially, I feel like it happens a lot when you have already been working on a certain job, you are already employed, or you are already doing something that is probably not even fulfilling. But the thought of you leaving that to walk into something that is a passion, the fear of I am not getting a salary every end of the month, and all those fears, I feel like that is just number one. It's just like apana, let me just stay on this safe zone.
Fear of the unknown, or even the known. Anything else that we can put in here?
To add on to what Wangeshi said,
yes,
I feel like on top of the fear, there's the issue of people do not want to leave their comfort zones. Like, I get a salary every month, perfect. I love it here. It's comfortable, it's cozy. I'm not moving from this place. And maybe another thing that also could hinder us, the systems, let's say. You have a passion and you look at the market right now, the passion is still a baby, it's a toddler, the market is not supporting it. And there's the uncertainty of, in the next few years, is the market going to support my passion? We were looking at DJs. 10 years ago, DJing was a job that was looked at as what? You want to become a DJ. And today, you can fuel that as your passion. The market is accepting it.
Yes. Wow.
And maybe we can add that, looking at it even as passion in terms of refueling, I think we have not gotten to a place where sometimes we appreciate the value of passion in our lives. And that's why you were talking about having a me time or a conversation with myself, really taking it and making it very intentional to ask, what do I really love doing and how does it impact on my life? Because I'll find if I'm cooking, there's something that refuels, that ignites in me. If I'm talking to these children, there's something lovely that just refuels me, such that even if I was maybe down, I find all of a sudden the light bulb because of that session with the children. So we need to take time to really discover what is it that refuels us, because that becomes part of passion.
Again, intentionality. We cannot do this unless we are intentional about doing it. So to discover our passions is to be intentional about our lives. So kamkutano ka kwanza is I need me to know my life, and then heading on and doing everything that I need to do, sitting down and tabulating my likes and my not likes into this, and knowing that this is what I like doing. This can move here, this can be there, and being better at it. This is personal improvement. I believe by the end of doing this quadrat, you will be a better person. And then by the end of practicing this for a certain given period of time, you will be an even better person, both to yourself and to society.
What I even realize is if you look at the Thrive Zone, actually, you can see those are actually your strengths. So this is quite a good tool to think about when you're thinking of discovering more about yourself. It's part of the self-awareness journey.
For sure. Self-awareness. So now that you touched on self-awareness, I want us, as we wind up, to just speak to the people at home. Bring this conversation into the sitting room, at the table. Let's speak to people in the home. And let's talk to the parents. Let's talk to the teens and the children. Let's talk to the young people and the young professionals to just be able to own this and run with it. Let's start with the parents. So Jackie, what can you tell the parents about this?
To parents, I would say that even as you discover yourself more in terms of your passion, make it intentional to discover your children's passion and help them so that you're able to discover and nurture it. And one of the things to do is, from an early age, keep observing what they love doing and be an encourager. And some of us, because as parents, you're privileged, you're also a mentor to them. So please keep on coaching them. And let's not look back many years after and be saying, I used to see Wendy do this and we never really talked about. And yet this is something that would be so useful, even in enabling them to learn more about the other things. Like, you can find ways of blending passion and academics. And this morning we were saying, saying, like, if somebody cooks very well, how can you use that as a life skill to tell them the same effort you use here? How about bringing a similar effort and attitude in your mathematics? Something close to that. And that encourages a good conversation, even as you're trying to bring the aspect of academics.
Great. God-given time to see and do. How many days left of the 30 days so that we can know what next? So, parents, you have some time before we finish this lockdown, quarantine, that you can begin to observe and nurture the passion in yourself and in your children. Wendy, talk to the children and to the teens. How can they go about this?
It's an interesting age, and I remember as kids, as teenagers, we'd say, you know what, I'll do that when I'm 20, or I'll do that when I'm an adult. But as an adult right now, I think I just like to tell somebody. Sometimes we sit and I'm like, I wish I had done this when I was in high school or when I was in class 6, 7, 8. So there's no age to start discovering your passion. There's nothing as I'm too young or I'm too old. Go ahead and start doing it. Be intentional, like we've said. And not only discover your passion, you can help your elder siblings, your parents as well to discover their passions. And you can keep encouraging each other within the family dynamic. Let's discover what we love doing and what fuels us.
And I think also being vocal about what you love doing. For that age group. Exactly. If doing the dishes is a bit of a challenge, you have that conversation with mom and dad. Go like, I want to do it very well, but it doesn't really excite me, so that it moves on. They also be able to discover who you are. Wangeshi, talk to the young people, the youth and the young professionals.
I think when it comes to the young person, when we talk about the youth and the young professional, we are talking about the people in campus and now the people who are like freshly in jobs and everything. Don't get to the place where you are complacent because it's too late. I'm already here, I'm working a job, I might as well just move on with it. Let us not be complacent simply because you feel, either you feel or you have been told that it's not working or it doesn't make sense or whatever it is. And I feel like this is a good time to just think about those things that are in this side, like the things that you have always wanted to do. Can you do them? I mean, minus the fear, minus the criticism, minus all those other things. Would you still do that? Like, are there things that you would actually sit down and figure out a way to do them? And there's a two-way to it as well. So be the one who wants to do it, because at the end of the day, no matter how much we sing about it and talk about it, if it doesn't come from you, then we are not doing anything. Exactly. So let it come from you first, that you want to do it, that you are actually intentional about it. And also the other way around, as parents, I mean, they are the mentors. You are the first mentors to these young people. So just have a conversation, have a conversation with your son who's working. Ask them, how is work going? Like, are you enjoying what you're doing? Is it something that you would actually do given another chance? Would you actually still take it? And find out, so that as we come back to, normalcy and running things the way we used to, we now know what we are doing. If you will have to step aside from what you do in order to pursue passion, then so be it. Because one thing that I have learned is that most of the time, passion it's actually a gift that has been placed in your heart by God. That's true. So if you are not pursuing that, then
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
So we are also telling the parents that it would be great for you to sit as a family, during that family conversation, and have each one of us or each one of the family members do their passion chat. We do it together. And
wonderful.
Much more.
Yes. And there we have it. This week, kuna homework. So families at the table conversation, do your homework. Let this be something that improves life at home and life of the individuals. And thank you very much, guys. We come to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching, and we thank ACK St. Peter's for giving us a great platform. We are grateful that you are part of our viewership and our supporters. God bless you. See you next time.
Bye. Bye.
So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for every week tuning in. Like, subscribe, of course, and like our videos and share. And I want to give you some more homework on the comment section. Please tell us how this episode has improved you and what places you discovered and how you keep growing on it. And let us keep evolving. Bye-bye.